The men court-martial last week refused to fit their parachutes for Operation Lifeline, in which 1,500 men dropped in a major combined forces exercise last April. Because of the weather, the operation had been postponed more than once. When it did get underway, there were some bumpy landings. But paratroops expect this. Why then do some occasionally jib? Is it just the difference between courage and cowardice?
It's difficult to be precise about this because of everybody's has an individual reaction to it. You might equate it in some senses to men who do boxing. I myself used to box, and every time I got into the ring, I used to ask myself why on earth I was doing it. And yet, in a way, I enjoyed it, and after it was over, I enjoyed it. And I think this is analogous to parachuting. People find it a challenge, as well as happening to be a very useful method of distributing soldiers about the battlefield. And I think that this challenge is something that the type of man we get wants to meet.
Most people would accept, I think, that once a man is trained, a refusal to jump should be an offence. But a sentence of 84 days seems pretty harsh.
Well, it is severe in a sense, although not severe when you relate it to various sentences of relating to other offences. But the thing is that there must be a sanction that applies to all officers and men who have, with their eyes open, gone in for this thing, had every opportunity at various stages to give it up without any form of punishment, and having embarked on it and spent the taxpayers' money in their training and so on, then there must be a sanction which says you must go on. And for those occasions when people feel a bit less like parachuting, that sanction helps them over the hurdle.
Do you think your men get enough opportunity to jump once they're trained?
Well, of course, speaking personally, my own view as the brigade commander is that I'd like everybody to jump about 4 times a week. Then there would be a great deal more expertise in our jumping than there is now. But there are many factors against that. I saw the other day a reference to the lack of aircraft, but on the whole, weather is a very big factor, and between November and about March, the incidence of jumping goes down a great deal. Of course, there are weather conditions that in operations we would take in our stride, but in peacetime training, there is a limit to the weather conditions the RAF will fly in, quite rightly, and that we will drop in.